recreation facilities on the ballot this year. It's required as part of the Transparency Act that we offer a letter in support since we are the sponsoring agent. And then that allows 50 days for the governing body to receive protests, letters of protest or letters of opposition, and it requires the council select one of those to go with a letter of support on the voter information pamphlet that goes out.
Or write our own from those or whatever for a letter of opposition. So we got...
It's our responsibility to send it. We can accept letters of opposition or protest, or we can write our own or combine them and do that. That's what's required as part of the Transparency Act. So you have a letter in front of you. I ask the committee to write that letter. I've done a little bit of editing and sent that, and that's the letter that you have in front of you. We need a little bit more time. I think the time restraints are that we need to act on that today. We can go further into the agenda if you'd like, or whatever you desire the council is.
Mr. Chairman, I haven't had a lot of time to study it, but in looking through it, a couple of places I think we maybe need to edit or at least discuss.
And we can do that.
In the first paragraph, the last sentence where it says, when our 38-year-old pool opened, I think we need to define who's our.
Okay.
Is that, and I've never been able to get a definitive answer. My understanding, I've heard that originally the pool at the school was built, was partnered by the county and the district, and over the years we turned that back to the district. Whether that's true or not, or whether
I don't
it's
know
always
the partnership. I think the county actually is the one that did it. Is that not right?
We were very involved in the construction, but there's no question the school district owns the pool.
So that maybe needs to be clarified.
Well, we just change it to the existing 38-year-old.
Okay.
That'd be fine.
Is that all right with everybody?
So people understand which one. And then down on, and just clarification, I think, on the, down the bottom where it says 14 lane with a bulkhead, probably ought to insert the word movable bulkhead. That's been talked about. Just a little better clarification of what that bulkhead can do.
With a moving bulkhead?
Moving bulkhead. Those are a couple of things I clarified.
Have to stay within the 500 word limit on the pro and the opposition to it. So we need to make that clear.
We only added one net. We took two out, put two in.
So we're still
Still 498. So
Chairman, last question for you. All along this process, we talked about I knew that we were the what we call petitioners, or that took over the process so we control it. But it was always the fact that we let this group be the lead. We wouldn't necessarily, shall we say, be the lead agency on this. The wording in this to me gives not only us but Parks and Rec the lead on supporting this. Is that what we're intending to do here?
No, we're the sponsoring. We sponsored on the ballot.
We did.
So we had to, for the Transparency Act.
I understand the whole thing, but the language on here makes us, as a council and as a Parks and Rec, the proponent of it, not necessarily a neutral party.
Well, then there'll also be an opposition letter that could come from us and that is approved by us also.
I just assumed we didn't do either.
Well, we have to. So that's the Transparency Act. That's what it requires.
And I think it's got good support and, we'll probably end up passing it. That was our intent.
That's up to the community, but we have to
But Mr.
follow the law, and that's what.
Mr. Chairman, as you and I have discussed, to answer Mike's question a little bit, the pool, whatever they call themselves, the pool committee, private group, they basically wrote the initial draft of this.
That's it.
So this is mostly from them, it's not from us. So we just approved of it, just as we will the opposition language as well.
No, we could eliminate that conflict, like for that appearance, if we eliminated that fourth paragraph down.
I agree, Steve.
In partnership with the citizens for aquatic and recreation, grassroots action with Wasatch County Park and Rec opposed to construction. That doesn't, if we can eliminate that paragraph, that adds some neutrality to it.
Yeah, but I don't know if we can necessarily eliminate that where we're the ones that got it on the ballot.
The fact
And it's on the ballot, so we'll do it if it passes. If it doesn't pass, then we're going to do it.
The proposal came from the Citizens Committee, and I guess Steve to speak to that. If we took out Wasatch County Parks and Recreation, so it says the partnership with, we have to fix a little more of it. The Aquatics and Recreation Subcommittee, Grassroots Committee proposed this. That's just my opinion. So,
Sorry.
I understand, we're the ones that put it on the ballot, so.
yeah, I understand that's not good.
Mike, did you have something?
A couple of questions. On the costs, there's a statement on the second page, costs likely to decline. It says that the population of Wasatch County continues to increase, the cost per taxpayer will decline. The costs are associated with the valuation of the county. It has nothing to do with the population. It's new growth and value.
I would just say as new growth of Wasatch County
Yeah,
to increase.
I don't think I would associate with population. The other,
That's not accurate.
I agree with that. Where was that?
It's on the second page, well, after the bullet
Last
points.
line.
Yeah, it's under the cost likely to decline part.
Yeah.
And that's the last sentence. As the population of Wasatch County continues to increase, it has nothing to do with population, it has to do with new
It's the
growth.
value.
As new growth continues to come to Wasatch County or something like that, because it's new growth that drives down the cost per person, not
So
population.
as new growth continues to occur.
the other one that wasn't mentioned is there is, part of this ballot initiative is also the leeway, which isn't mentioned in this. It does state that the bond will be no more than $24,414,161.
Yeah, it needs to rep the O&M.
The O&M leeway is also tied to the same question on the ballot. So it is not just the 24 million, it's the 24 million plus the yearly operational leeway.
Yeah, that needs to be addressed in here.
Yeah.
Well, I think what they wanted to say, that this wouldn't go over budget. You can't build these facilities, the ball fields, the soccer fields, aquatic center, for any more than $24,414,161. That's all that's been approved.
Well, and then, but you're also only authorizing,
Limited to that.
you're also limited to a certain dollar amount on the O&M as well, without going back and increasing. So, and that's been one of the concerns of people, I guess, opposed to it, is saying we don't know the true
You
answer.
know what, that will be in the opposition letter.
And that's their argument.
Yeah.
That will be in the opposition letter.
Yeah, but then that makes these numbers $9.57 and $84.75. That's just for the cost. That's not what it's going to cost the taxpayer.
No, that's with the O&M in it.
How is that got O&M in it?
Yeah, those are the numbers they
That's
produced with
with the O&M in it.
both levies, construction and the O&M.
That's correct.
So they are including O&M there.
Yes.
Well, then we ought to clarify that and say the cost likely to include the cost and the operation will be the $9.57.
It's already dropped to 84.75.
Yeah.
For O&M and construction, is that what you're saying?
Well, maybe in that line, proposition language is clear. Maybe it's something about, you said something about O&M ought to be on that line too, somewhere in there, how it's worded, I mean.
Well, I think what Councilman Price says is correct. The bond won't be issued for $1.4 million. That is totally correct. And maybe if you're covering the cost of $90.57 and the $84.75 covers on in, I guess you're there. But
And I think we let them, or whoever, present that in the following public hearings. I mean, there's gonna be
To
more,
explain
yeah,
that.
there's gonna be more open houses.
And it probably isn't included in this at all and doesn't need to be. But one of the things that I've been asked a lot is, who's gonna propose or who's gonna approve the final plan? And my understanding has been like we've done, like we did at the rec center, and like we did with the skate park. There'll be a committee and involving as many people that are to come in and help to put together that final plan. That doesn't need to be in this, I would think. That's just, I think that needs to be understood going forward. That's what we do, I would hope.
I think the final plan's pretty much been presented.
To get out, to
I
be able
don't
to
think that
that
the
call.
location, as Mike's talked about, has been set in stone. But I think the plan, in order to get to this 24 million, is pretty well locked. I don't think you're going to go ahead and flow rider or a longer, more meters in the pool. I think you're locked into this number.
Pretty close to that number.
But we could eliminate some things and come in less than that.
If costs have increased, you might have to eliminate some things to stay under that 24.
But I think the problem was what was the result of the public hearings. I think things got adjusted as a result of those public hearings. I think that's, right now, for bid, I think that's the design.
So, I guess in hindsight, to talk about what Mike was saying, it's hindsight, but if the council hadn't moved this forward, would have let that committee do it by initiative, we wouldn't be doing this, they would be doing it as a sponsor, is that correct?
Well, in my opinion, we did it intentionally, let the public decide, and we've talked many times about not being for or against it, just promoting the working process. And when you go to the last statement there where it says vote yes, I would probably take that part off. I don't necessarily support or not support it at this point. I think we're just putting it on for the people to decide.
The other
Just
letter
put
goes
this
out
on
and say, well, no.
Are we going to be signing that too?
Yes.
Yes. We have to, correct?
Yes.
And who's writing that? I mean, I don't want to write that. I just want to know.
That is open to the public. Anyone can write a letter in opposition. They come back to the council, and we pick the letter. We can write our own letter.
And we would be on that,
Or we
just like
can
we're on
come
this
on
one as being for or
just
against.
exactly the
That's
same.
interesting. Okay.
But it's what we did on when the proposal to look at the form of government was done 2 years ago. It's exactly what we did. There was a for letter that was signed by the council, and there was an against letter signed by the council. And I don't know if that meant necessarily the council was either for or against it. It was their obligation.
Just the law requires that we do those two.
We have to do this one now, and then it allows 50 days after the opposition sees this letter, then to write their response.
So assuming we approve this, this goes in the paper?
It goes in the paper, and then it also goes on the voter information pamphlet. Goes out, and then the public, you have a public hearing, and each side has a, the pro goes first, and then the opposition has a response time to that. Then they go, and the pro has a response time to respond to that. That's in the final public hearing.
So we need to pass this today.
One,
Yes. I make the motion, I make the motion we approve the language as been modified for the pro statement.
So what we're gonna do then, just to clarify the motion, Steve, after when, the existing, we're gonna have the existing, correct? And then down on the 14 lane competition pool with a movable bulkhead.
Correct.
And then we're going to the cost likely to decline on the last statement. We're going as new growth continues to occur, the cost per taxpayer will.
That's what I have.
Is there any other changes in the right? Okay, we have a motion from Steve to
But
approve.
I want to have one discussion on that. Go back to the one we talked about before.
Hold on just a second. We have a second to the.
I'll second that change.
Okay, we have a second. Now discussion.
Paragraph 5, I would propose that we remove the first ones down to aquatics recreation, or excuse me. Let me see where I was here. I have it all figured out. Start on citizens, grassroots action committee, take out Wasatch County Parks and Recreation, and then leave proposes. So you'd start it at citizens, take out Wasatch County Parks and Rec, so it reads citizens for aquatics and recreation, a grassroots action committee proposes to construct a new indoor facility. I would propose that as an amendment to the motion.
I'd second that amendment.
Okay,
I think it's consistent.
Well, we
with
have the
everything
motion
else.
and a second, so we definitely did withdraw the motion. Or do you vote on the
Okay,
amendment
so let's
first?
vote on the amendment.
You just vote on the amendment as a separate issue, and then you go back to the motion. You can amend the motion.
What did the council feel about that?
I think we're proposing it, and we're also going to do the opposition letter. I think we need to leave it in.
Well, and we did vote, we voted to put it on, and I think that's appropriate, so I'm going to vote no on the amendment and yes on the motion, just in case you're trying to see where we are.
Well, we could change that to put Wasatch County agrees to put it on the ballot to propose construction.
Well, it's ballot initiative to build it. And that's what it is.
To me, it's an attempt to remove us. Now, we didn't start the whole process, but we definitely sponsored it and voted on it. It's an attempt to remove us from that at this point doesn't make sense to me.
Maybe you should say Wasatch County instead of Wasatch County Park and Rec. It's the county proposing, it's not the Park and Rec.
That's true.
We voted
So if
on
anything,
it
Parks
as a
and Rec maybe
county.
ought to come on. I will second Mike's.
We have just talked all along about being neutral in the process, and I don't disagree with Greg. Can we put it on the ballot to let the citizens vote? Not a problem with that. We've also said that the citizens will lead this, not us. This puts Parks and Rec as a proponent, and I think it's wrong to do that at this point. I mean, they can vote for it, but we're certainly not putting them in a position around and campaigning for it. That's all I'm suggesting. It does change. If we leave it in that present form, it changes where we have been in the past. Not personally, but as a group. It's a simple vote today. I mean, just vote on it and we move on.
I don't know the proper parliamentary procedure, because I think sometimes if you vote no on the amendment, then doesn't that vote no on that? That does not?
No, this is
No,
just
you
a,
vote no on the, you have to vote on the amendment. If the amendment passes, then
the language
Then you vote on the
changes.
amended motion.
then you
Right.
vote on the amended motion.
Okay, any other discussion on the amendment to the motion? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote to approve Mike's.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
No,
No.
Yes.
no.
Okay, so the amendment fails. Now I'll call for a,
Chairman, I'd like to propose another amendment then to the motion, just take off the word Park and Rec in that same paragraph.
Wasatch County Park and Rec.
So it'll just say Wasatch County proposal.
okay, we have a motion for an amendment there. We have a second to that.
I'll second that.
Steve seconds that. So So what we would do in that paragraph, just take out Parks and Recreation.
Yeah.
Okay, any more discussion? Seeing that on vote, Kevin?
Yes.
Yes.
No?
No.
Yes.
Okay, that amendment passes. So we'll take out on this letter, Parks and Recreation, leave out county. We'll go back to the original motion. I'll call for a vote on the original motion.
As amended.
As amended now, you're correct, as amended.
I tend to want to vote no for the reasons stated, but I guess it's something we need to do, so I'll vote yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that motion passes. Okay, I'll make those corrections and we'll get that out. Okay, let's go to Jeff Anderson.